How did it do? Exiles. Wanted to go over my league start plan for 3.26, and it's not something that I think you're. It's not something that you'd really be expecting. We did the Gleed build in 3.25, and before that I just did SRS every league pretty much, and so I wanted to revisit a build that I personally loved. I was a huge fan of this build. It's a Summoned Reaper of Revenants, and it really only had two downsides. One, the AI is questionable at best. It did have a lot of buttons, but I think the best way to solve that is to run Summon Phantasm as part of the 6th link, so they can just eat those just automatically. I don't have to cast, skeletons. Though I may still stick with the skeletons to provide feeding frenzy and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not fully sold on this yet, but I think this is one of the options that we have moving into 3.26. Another kind of downside of this build is the clear is it's bad. The clear is not great. It's really, really not good. This can be alleviated with like narrow maps like toxic sewers or something like that. There's other narrow maps, but toxic sewers is my favorite. However, with the mercenaries being in the game, I reckon that clear is going to be less of an issue because I'll have a mercenary with me. And so that solves that part of the build, which I'm a huge fan of. And this build got buffed. So you had a maximum of 3 revenants. Now you can have 4. And that's a pretty substantial buff. And it's enough of a buff to make me want to revisit the build and really think hard about if this is something that we want to take on. It's got really, really solid bossing damage. The mapping damage is fine. The damage in general, I mean, it's fine. The defense is standard necro block. I didn't really have any issues with it. I don't think this is as powerful as the SRS by any stretch, but it is uniquely its own playstyle. And I personally really love the Revenants. I wish they were designed a little bit better. I wish you could have other minions that they didn't eat. Or I wish there was like a priority system that you could do or something. Because you essentially lose a lot of power. You're forced to lose a lot of power because you can't run AG, you can't run specters, zombies. The only thing that's really worth running is skeleton as a utility setup, and so that they can eat something. But it is a lot of fun. And the version that you see here, this is like a full poison version. I think if I redo it in 3.26, I'm just going to go full crit. But that presents another problem. Because if I do full crit and I use Yamada's teaching, then I'm not going to be able to get a trigger craft on my wand. And I don't know if I'm willing to do that because automated defenses are pretty amazing. And I am a humongous fan of them. So I'm kind of curious as to how high I can get my crit chance without that scepter. So there's definitely some things to work out because I don't think I want to go the poison route again. But this build is a great deal of fun. I'll leave the POB. I think it's from 3.23 or 4. I can't remember. In any event, I'll leave the POB down in the description if y'all want to check it out. But this was just kind of on my radar now that it's got buffed and we got mercs. This kind of changes a lot of things. We got Perkwill's Toe for lucky damage, and apparently the radius of that nearby is like almost screen wide. From what I was watching Palstron, that's what he was saying. So just having essentially perma lucky damage on my Revenants and then getting one more. I mean, I think this build is like a serious contender to be one of the better minion skills like for this league. So this is my plan. I just wanted to share it with you guys. I'm not going to go into the POB at the moment. I'm going to tweak it a little bit and change some things around and see what kind of numbers that I can pull up. I think these revenants are almost level 40. So like they're like grossly leveled. We're almost at the level cap with these guys. And I think adding another revenant is kind of a game changer, not only in terms of single target, but just spreading your damage on the field. I think it helps. I think it kind of gives it exactly what the build needs, which is more bodies on the field. And I know it's just one more, but one more is one more. I'll take it. So this is where I'm at. 7 Reaper Revenants. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably be doing like a final video for what I'm going to do for League Start. I may end up just doing Gleed and just going with the motion, going with the flow, because it's easy and it's proven, and I know it's good. But man, this is really enticing. I'm gonna do some test runs, minion test runs. So if that's something that you guys would like to see, I can throw that up and give you guys something to watch before League starts. So anyways, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Be good. Take care of yourselves. God bless.